This day 742 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you like to sponsor upcoming shir more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Very greatly appreciate it. So everything is Zim and Tuf Nun Dalet Sif Yud, Zim and Tuf Nun Hey Sif Vav Yud. B'chol Lomar Rabbi Seinu Amid Tab Mishum Mitzvah Above Avera. I think we conflated the two in yesterday's year, but he's asking why they said that the issue is whether they make a bracha or not. Say it's above Avera. In fact, the Allah brings down the Shagasari says that matzah is possible because the mitzvah of Avera. Okay. Achnira the Bishum Nisfili mitzvah of Avera and on Midrabanan. So he wants to say mitzvah of Avera is only a rabbinic restriction. Yesh said there's Rishonim. It depends on Rishonim. Shan Perkal Lechal on Matzah Gzula Slavarech Aleh. Yerushalmi says you're not allowed to make a bracha matzah Gzula. Amar Rabbi Yoshua said Hashem Shemarkot says, but say Berach Nietz Hashem. If somebody committed fraud or theft and then make the bracha, he blasphemes God. Hadar the Tema B'tchila, but that's only initially. Avo Basof, at the end, Yerushalmi, Dami U'Chayvo, just to pay money. Perish the Rosh explains the covenant of the Chatchil B'Diavad. What does he mean by preferentially and after the fact? The B'Yevi Yotz B'Zula, the B'Yevi Yotz Matzah, B'Sol Matzah. Misha Perish B'Sol Yerushalmi Dei Shinui. It's all, not straight out, only if there's a Shinui and Shom. When you're starting to the Chatchili Bracha Rishoina, the B'Chili Bracha Rishoina, or Chashon has his own novel shot. It says, between the Chatchil and B'Diavad, Chatchili means the Bracha Rishoina, Shadai B'Yodel Lachzir. You can make a Bracha Rishoina because you can still give it back. So Birchas Hamazon Kvar Ochla. No. He can't make a bracha. Give it back. Don't make a bracha. The sof Birchas Hamazon, but the end is it's after the fact. That's benching. Kvar Ochla, you already ate a chayav lo damim. At that point, you're liable to pay money regardless because it ain't around anymore. They made my son bench. Whatever happened. It's water under the bridge, which is a very cute svara. Mitzvah. Avera cannot become mitzvah. That's a mitzvah avera. Mitzvah cannot be an avera. Mitzvahs ima sanka mitzvah. Mitzvah is a mitzvah. If you do them properly, it's a mitzvah. If not, ain't a mitzvah. Kan l'shona. End quote. Because it's possible these Amorai argue. Yislu and they all came with law sanka mitzvah. Since these make them according to properly. Eina. Mitzvah, and you say they become so it's not mitzvah, the obligation. I can show them. But Tam Mishum Mitzvah Ba Avera. It's going to be because the mitzvah which comes to an Avera. They all that same thing, but they semantically they express it differently. If he's a mashal mitzvah Ba Avera, having the rice, when it sounds like mitzvah Ba Avera is actually a deraisa problem. Therefore, it's impediment for using that matzah. You base Hakoni Hayotzi Midei Chavasam Matzah B'Chala B'Truma. Kohanim can be yotzi the mitzvah of Chiyav of matzah by using challah or truma. Abi Shemeh Matzah Shein with Chodim, even though most people cannot eat it. Chayotzi Matzah Shemeh Yerushalayim may also be anybody can be yotzi with matzah of Ma'aser Shein in Yerushalayim. And the Ma'aser Shein Moment Hediyu because we pass and Ma'aser Shein belongs to the owner, not to a hektish. Well, the Hediyu will be Yerushalayim. Outside Yerushalayim it doesn't belong to you, but inside Yerushalayim it does belong to you. Because you have that, and he at that time. This is so it says in the bracket. So Chelek, since Rabban Rameir, Rabban Rameir. That's why it says. So anyway, so but Shabbos around Perigim the Ma'aser Sheni. But wow, what about with Ram Paskin's third Ma'aser Sheni? The moment of who? That doesn't belong to you. Ma'aser Sheni belongs to Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Kampas Perivav the Yotzi Day Ma'aser Sheni B'Yushalayim. Here it says you are yotzi with matzah sheni matzah Yerushalayim. Al ein yotzin. Wait a second. Oh, I misunderstood this. Zeu Shabbos Ram Perakimel. Go back a couple lines. Ram Pasuk Perakimel Ma'aser Sheni Mama Gavohu. Magavod before it gets to Yerushalayim. Kampas Averav Diotzi De Matzah B'Ma'aser Shein B'Yerushalayim. When you hit Yerushalayim, it becomes Mamad Hediot. Avo Ein Yotzi Matzah should be Kurim Yerushalayim, but Matzah B'Kurim you can't use even Yerushalayim. Shemar it says V'chomash V'osechem Tochlu Matzos. In all your communities eat matzah. Matzah and chelas b'chol hamoshavos. That's the matzah that you can be eaten anywhere. You also bikurim. This includes bikurim, first fruit, shein echal Yerushalayim. It can be eaten anywhere outside Yerushalayim. Of a meiser sheni, it's a little bit of a roundabout. Meiser sheni shlo heter b'gvul neit p'tiyah. Eat outside Yerushalayim as long as you redeem it first. Yud Gimel Chalos the Toda Rakike Nazir, the Chalos which come together with the Korban Toda and the flatbread which comes with the Nazir. So Korban Shasson, that's one you made for yourself, and you Yitzben. You don't fulfill the obligation with them because they're made not for the they're made for the Toda and for the Nazir. But it says Shneimar Shmatim Zamatos. You have to watch the matzah. Matzah mishtameres lematzah and matzah uvat. It's got to be matzah which is watch exclusively purpose of matzah. Who shits it by that? You can use it. Yotzu zushim mishtameres l'shem zev. Was this one which is being watched for the purpose of korban. And then masoni korban shul. He made it to sell the marketplace. Yotza by the chavasol. You do fulfill the obligation. Shosim korban shul. Somebody who was making it to sell in the marketplace. Daita was intended shim loyim kora osam. If you can't l'shem zev, you can't sell them for the korban. Yochel osam l'shem matzah. For the purpose of the matzah. It's a contingency plan. The name saw nasu she matzah, so it goes out. They were made for the purpose of matzah after all. Afghan you can't believe in brera high. This is a problem because it's retroactively clarifying whether it's made for the purpose of matzah and not for the purpose of matzah. And in brera, this retroactive clarification is not working only by dinei deraisa. Lomar chaka kuvra davar. So to say the retroactive was clarified is made for matzah. Not say matzah, the other guys in Be'er don't say, but the rice a breyer works. The Ishmael does ain't there breyer Brahma says no, there's not like a regular breyer. The who elafal l'shem mitzvah, he baked them for the purpose of a mitzvah, because all these mitzvahs, El Nazir, Rakike Nazir, Karman Toida, they have to leave the and matzah's mitzvah, they have to leave the purpose of mitzvah. And this bar double is a mitzvah nasa. So the purpose of mitzvah, the question which mitzvah? That's that, and that's a chiddush. That's what he says is that's how prayer works. It brings the Tushtel to run in the Dorim, which I don't know who he's talking about. So we'll gloss over that and go to Taf Nun Hey. Din Maim Shalonu. The halach of water which was kept overnight. It's clear, it's obvious. Shemayim Chamim, that hot water, we've used them to knead a dough. Yibel Dechim is going to come to ferment it. Even if its heat is only like the heat of saliva. Therefore, you can't need matzah for those days. Pass around unless only with cold water. They use warm water to knead the menachos, which are also not allowed to be chametz. Just watch them to become chametz. Because they are meticulous in these matters and diligent. They're doing them. Have a low cane, anachlup, not us. Basalan or pushing we can't use lukewarm water, only cold water. But also in cold water, can't use stam cold water. It's got to be water which is left overnight. They were drawn the night before, and the night passed over them. After they were drawn, here's the time to shut him, and the different reasons are given. Base rise up here, you may need some of my owners are dying chamin. So it's because during this one, the springs are still hot. Like they are in the winter. Actually, I think scientifically they're not hot in the winter. It's just that they're not as cold as everything which is around them. I'm not sure about that though. Man is a man else and it's hot like in the winter. It's like example that if they've cooled down for one night, will come from after they're removed from the place of origin. And so too river water. They have to be cooled down for one night. Or because they were smitten by the sun during the day. The times according to this Ikar the prime issue which call Lila, you have mind pollution that throughout the night the water should be severed from the ground. You should severed from our place of origin. You should and you should draw them before nightfall. You should control them during the day, anytime you want. Rock, but don't use them until they have been a night outside of their source. Not allowed to use this mayim shalonu even until they'll become daybreak. No, the primary issue should be after chatzos. If you then After the north wind blows and cools things down. Therefore, if after the fact, you didn't show them during the day, but you drew them at night. But before midnight, you use them the next day. This opinion, ain't equal b'shiva ben hashmashos. There's no reason to necessarily draw the water by twilight. But it's preferable. But after the fact, even during the day, or beginning of the night, but it's all okay. This says there is a chumrah according to Shita. That one night they do have to be cooled down. Rabbeinu Lezmi Metz. Time he writes different reasons. All night, all springs and rivers are warm. Because the sun at night goes underneath the horizon. Which can be seen, goes beneath the earth and heats up the springs and the rivers. Therefore, at dawn, there's something like steam on the rivers, which is fog, obviously. So the water should not be overnight in a spring or in the river. Even the beginning of the night. You have to join before the beginning of the night. Even the previous night they were in the spring or in the river. It's time to cool down during the day. It's on Biosim by Makor. Yes, the remainder during the day became cold. They're drawn at night. Even leave them tomorrow several days. It's not affecting they show tea and chamin because you them hot. You can't cool them down. It's not effective. Unless they're a full day prior to, so to speak, being harvested. In the Yom Shem Benarv and Mayon, that they should be before they're drawn for a full day in the river or in the spring. She's decided that they should cool down from the heat of the night. Therefore, just like a night not allowed to draw them. So during the day, because we require an entire day for them to cool off when they're in their source. According to this, you can only draw the water. It's not day nor night. But according to this, being also kula. Immediately when you draw them, use them to knead the dough. You don't have to wait at night to nightfall because Shitas Rashi have to do according to Rashi. Therefore, preferably, or to fulfill both opinions, draw the water during twilight. Mishnah Bialocha says that some of the Menash Mashos, but according to that's not according to Mechaber. According to Mechaber, you're allowed to draw the water during the day anytime you want. So you wait to knead with them until the next day. And the Ma'amar Mordechai writes, there's a big doichak, it's a very oppressed time, you can fill it during the day while it's still broad daylight. Okay, but Chatchila, no. So it should be Karam and Shasle, in order that first they should cool down in their source for 12 hours. Okay, same since it can't be precise. Let's be near juxtaposed to twilight. It still should not bake with them until another 12 hours left until the morning. He says, or a boker, Mishnah says, you can use them after with a shachar, even though they haven't been used for 12, haven't rested for 12 hours once they're taken out of their source. But back to Shalom, Ben Shemei Bears, where there comes some wells, or mayors, or springs, or menors, or rivers. But you can draw on one day for many days. If it's a hot period, put the water in a cellar where it's cold. If it's a cold period, put them out in the air. Because then the cellar is hot. By us, cellars are normally cold. Nevertheless, you shouldn't leave them out open in the air. Because the sun is going to beat down on them. So therefore they put them in a firehouse where there's no furnace at the moment. And there they can get as cool as possible. You take a little time into the house to knead with them. When that's over, have fire hose. You ran from that outer house. More fire hose. You allow gag, your house, which I guess some sort of shed, fire equipment. It should not have a roof. So that the should have a roof. Sorry, so the water does not get the sun beating directly down on it. It's best when you draw them to put them immediately in the house. Where they spend the night. Bring them to the house underneath the open area. So we should cover them. Not because the sun, it's already set. To tell you shouldn't fall into the water. And then we likely some beyond the bias of Bavir, we didn't bring them immediately into the house when they remain in the open air. Come consider Lashkim, at least the bias comes to Hashem, which got put it inside the house before sunrise. Feel beyond Mamun, and even a cloudy day, that Hashem is brought their Sitke Anoni. Took the sun through the cracks in the clouds. Kadam review it says Yom Yom the Iba Kula Shimshon, because a day of clouds, behind the clouds, is completely sunny. Ayin Shabbat. Come never seem likely some mashkoma. You didn't put them away in the morning. And they stood that way underneath the open air. I feel even if they were open. If they clearly have not gotten warmer, it doesn't. It's not an impediment. I feel Amar B'Shemesh, and even they're standing in the sun. This is what you says on the spot. It's just because of those right that when you're at home, it's better not to cover the water because so that the air can affect positively whatever stockpile. But you only got the water at night, or during the day before twilight. You don't have any water. You use this water. Mr. Brewer says, nevertheless, if there is a lot of them during that day, you don't need machmer, and you can knead with them the chatchila the next day after Minas Laila. And also, if you do them after chatzos, if you do them before chatzos, then you can use them the next day even deliberately. But you have to wait 12 hours from the time that you drew them. Okay. If you have no water, after 12 hours, you can use it like Rashi does. Something as much as those because can't be processed about twilight. It's better to do it a little bit earlier. It has to do it a little bit later. When you bake on the first day, you have to prepare the water on the Thursday at twilight. The Erev Shabbos, because in Erev Shabbos and Shabbos, you can't do it in Shmashos. That's because the Rabbeinu Ramah, the Shabbos, the Ramah writes and Pesach comes out on a Sunday. We should draw the water earlier, Gimel, even a day earlier. And the Chamishi, Thursday night, that's by them where they would bake the matzah even on the night of Pesach. Shabbos when Sunday came out on Sunday. Sunday came out on the first day of the month. If you got to draw them on the Thursday, you show by Shabbos. You should draw them on for a Friday, but the pattern. So you don't do it on Shabbos, it will still be Bod Yom. Mr. says you have to do it Bod Yom. Okay. Yom Yehudi, or you should tell a non-Jew, you should be as much as to draw you for the water during the twilight. Some say even like the Atzma the Mishnah says, because it's supposed to be Nishmashas, I guess. Okay, but nearly, it seems to me, there's no Shechah Pesach when Pesach comes on a Sunday. Which happened, as you wrote. I would say Shof and Kama Shavuot good about Pesach, but in our day and age, when people bake many weeks before Pesach, but they often in the bakeries, Im lo yichim mayim b'yom chamishi, we didn't prepare water on Thursday. Lo yifei b'yom rishon klal, don't bake on the first day at all. Ella b'yom hasheni, the second day. So b'yom rishon ben hashmashes, so the water ben hashmashes, so the first day. Kedina, as appropriate for Yeshua, some people are lenient. The Mishnah says all this applies also to people who bake lots of their matzah before Pesach actually begins.